Our stage here at Gamescom. Games come and go, but this game is here to stay. I am here with Zach and Toby from Life is Strange. Hello, welcome to our stage here.
Hello, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So excited that you guys are here. This is my highlight of the day.
This is her calm before the storm.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Oh, that's a good one.
See what I
Better
did
than
there?
mine. I planned mine last night. At
Oh,
like
I'm sorry,
super
I
late.
didn't mean to cut you off. It was probably going to be really good, though.
Yeah. All right, guys, before we get into Before the Storm, can you tell us a very generic summary about the game that was released a few years ago?
Oh, yeah. So I guess to avoid any spoilers, because that's a big deal with Life is Strange,
There was a storm.
you play as a character named Max Caulfield, whose best friend is Chloe Price. And a lot of amazing things happen, and if you haven't played Life is Strange, you totally should. But what we're doing with Before the Storm is we're looking at what life is like from Chloe's perspective 3 years before the events of the first game. So even if you're the most diehard fan of Life is Strange, the story that we're exploring in Before the Storm is something that's going to surprise you, and you're not going to know the ending of it.
I like the fact that you guys are going back. Like, it could have been easy to sort of jump forward to see what has happened after the first game.
Well,
Yeah.
But the decision to go back, because the trailer that showed the first time you guys showed off the game, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's a prequel!
Yep.
I mean, there's this huge decision you have to make at the end of the first game, and it radically alters the fate of that world in a certain way. And we definitely didn't want to tell a story after that event, because then we're choosing one or the other path that the player might have chosen, and we're taking that agency away. We wanted to leave that to be sacred, so going back in time felt right.
So there's not going to be a sequel?
They didn't say that.
I need to play more of this.
They could do side sequel. They
Side
could do like,
sequel.
an
So-
ancillary character.
Does
Yeah.
the prequel play all the way up to the point where the first game starts, or is it separate?
That's a great question. No.
No?
No, yeah, we're deliberately not doing it. So one of the first things you learn in Life is Strange is about this character named Rachel Amber, who you never meet, or maybe you do. But when you start the game, she's missing. And so it's important to point out, this is, Before the Storm is not the story of Rachel Amber's disappearance. What we're doing instead is we're focusing on what it's like for Chloe when she's 16 years old, 2 years after her dad has died. She's alienated, she's alone. Max, the main character from the first game, she's moved away. And we're looking at what it's like when she meets this Rachel Amber character and how the two sort of affect each other.
Okay, well, this has got me excited. Can we please have some gameplay? Because I need this. This was like my goosebump moment at E3. I was watching, I was like, I need to call my mom. Like, this is big, you know? Oh, I am so excited.
Calls her mom in tears. Mom, they did it. They said there wasn't going to be another one. They did it.
So
So we are Chloe, angsty teenager.
this is gameplay you can actually experience if you're here at Gamescom at the Square Enix booth on the floor. If you're here, go play it.
This isn't the entire first episode.
It
It's
is
just
not the entire first
Okay, good.
episode. Yeah.
Because if you guys were going to spoil it, I would have been off the stage and be like, cool.
That would have been fair.
But the game comes out, the first episode comes out next week, I believe.
A week from tomorrow. Yeah,
August 31st.
Nice.
August 31st.
See, you don't even have to wait that long.
And it's
As soon as
coming
you go-
out.
I'm really excited.
It's coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC. There's Steam.
So what I would want to know as a fan is what inspires you to write a story that is so complex and is so personal. It feels so personal as well, like you know them.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
What inspired? Is there something in real life that you drew inspiration from for this, or?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think the first Life is Strange was so powerful because the characters in it were so flawed. They were so broken. They felt like real people, and the problems that they were dealing with, time travel aside, were really normal problems, right? Like the game dealt with bullying,
High school.
depression, sexual assault, serious things, difficult things. There was a lot of courage on display, but I think it was a really relatable story and with really relatable characters. Because of that, that was incredibly inspiring for all of us at Deck 9 Games. That was what we wanted to kind of centralize in how we designed and how we wrote Before the Storm. So yeah, and so one of the things we're exploring with Chloe and with the story at this chapter in her life is the grief she feels over losing her dad. And I think in that way, you know, everyone's lost someone, and I think everyone's also kind of met a new person that helps sort of move forward And that's kind of what we're exploring with Chloe's relationship with Rachel.
Wow.
Does the game end with her deciding to like dye her hair? Like that's like the critical moment. Like, do
Don't
you
tell
dye
us
it?
how it ends.
I'm just
That's the worst spoiler. You ruined it.
There's always something that makes you want to dye your hair.
That's the last episode that comes out. The decision is, do I dye it or
Yeah.
do
Blue
I?
or green?
Like, oh
Yeah.
damn.
Honestly, though, this game is unlike anything else out there, in my.
I mean, it's
Opinion.
that, like he was saying though. It's having these characters that feel so real. Like
Yeah.
you can play, other games that where characters are these far-fetched characters or like superhero characters or something. But the fact that these characters, sometimes they're kind of dicks, and sometimes they have to make decisions. They're like, that's like what a terrible move to make.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the moral decision is like, do I do the crappy move or do I do the even crappier move? Like, how do I like?
Choosing between two
'cause
evils.
when I play games like this, I try to like, how would I approach it? I try to be like the nice person in any kind of situation. But
Me
when
too. I play like myself, like what I would do.
yeah, and I feel like I'm a nice person generally, but when the decision is like terrible or even worse, I'm like, well, now I have the decision. Like, do I just go all the way crazy
Yeah.
and say, screw it, I'm just gonna wing it and see what happens?
For me, these kind of games are really good to play on stream because the chat kind of is like, oh, do this or do that. Like they want to decide with me, and it's really interactive. It's really nice.
So how do you feel about playing as Chloe Price if you always want to be the nice person?
I know.
That's true.
I
Curious.
kind of have a sense of who Chloe is.
Uh-huh.
So and I think like maybe I will approach it as Chloe would instead of myself.
I feel like I'm a lot like Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you feel
Apart from
you
the
feel
blue
the
hair?
Chloe.
I feel, yeah.
Feel
No,
the
but
club.
I mean, it's really kind of. I'm really trying not to spoil anything, but when you know what's going to happen to her, like this is a prequel, so you already know her future basically. So that makes it so
It's an
weird to
extra
make choices.
it's an extra level
Yeah.
on top of a game that is so based on decision making, right? When it's like if you have played the first game, which you should because it really is that good, and you experience this character from somebody else's perspective, and you see like, wow, they have sort of this, mystery about them, but they've clearly been, damaged. Like, do I bring that? Am I the person? Is that what turns out? Like, do I like
Are
go
we
back in
gonna
time?
damage her in the
Am I
prequel?
the reason why she was that person in the first game I played before I even knew I was going to give her the option to make those decisions?
This is what was so exciting about writing Chloe. It's precisely this. I mean, this isn't spoiling anything from the first game, but she has such a kind of a brittle anger about her as a non-playable character, as a character you're dealing with. And what we're getting to kind of explore is sort of the deeper parts of her at an earlier part in her life, when she's closer to the death of her father. I think she's even more raw with that loss. But at the same time, she's about to meet this person, Rachel Amber, this mythic character from the first game, who we know
Spoiler.
changed her life. Yeah, that's very small spoilers here. And we get to look at we're going to see a happy Chloe, we're going to see a funny Chloe, we're going to see a more vulnerable Chloe. We're going to get to see a lot more of her interior world that I think will inform.
This game really,
Watch
this story hits, for me, it hits close to home. So I think I'm just gonna cry the whole time playing this.
Yes.
Like
that's
I
Just
identify
Sarah
with a
McLachlan
lot
in
of
the
this.
background.
It hits really close to home. Yeah.
that's the goal.
So we
kinda
saw
scared.
we saw Frank and his dog. Are there going to be any other characters that we are familiar with?
All sorts of returning characters. Because at this time in her life, she's still in school. So she's at Blackwell Academy.
Oh, nice.
We're going to see a lot of the students we saw, Nathan Prescott, Victoria Chase, earlier time
hate that
in their
guy.
life. Yeah. But we have a lot of new characters too. Chloe's going to go to places like the footage we're looking at right now. This is a place called the Mill. It's this abandoned lumber yard where there's this illegal concert on the edge of town. Chloe's going to go to places like this that Max wouldn't go to, and we're going to be meeting characters that Max might not, wouldn't.
Because Max is kind of the goody two shoes of this.
She is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you played her like a total
This
douchebag.
is the demo, right? But is this also where the game actually starts?
This is close to the very beginning of the game. Yeah.
A rough party.
That guy's awesome.
Oh, family show. Anarchy t-shirt.
You okay? I'm fine.
Is the music as good?
Music's awesome. So music was such a huge part of the first game, right?
Yeah.
So we announced recently that we partnered with a British indie folk band called The Daughter. They're amazing. If you haven't heard them, give them a listen. They have a real kind of a really dark, soulful sound to them that felt so fitting for Chloe. Like weirdly, like simultaneously like the first Life is Strange, but at the same time different in the ways that Chloe's different from Max. So we worked with them to compose a completely original score for the game. We'll be
That's so
releasing
well
a
thought through.
soundtrack.
Like
Yeah.
a different musician for a different character,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
New dialogue unlocked. What's that about?
What?
Do you want to check it out?
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
stairs are broken. A little broken.
That
Oh,
guy.
Frank. We know Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was saying, they showed him and his dog just hanging out earlier. I was like, oh.
I don't like him.
Did we already buy weed?
Yes, we already.
We bought weed while we were talking. We purchased
Oh,
some weed.
That's why I noticed.
Is this
I was
still
like,
part of
what
the
is
game, or are you
is she
just
doing?
going off and partying later?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did we buy weed? Oh, sorry. Are we still on camera?
It was that guy right there. I swear it was him.
Yeah. It's Gamescom. What does that mean?
Yeah, so following bumping into the guys just now, as we tried to push into the dance floor, we unlocked this extra dialogue choice with Frank.
Now, is it clear to where that dialogue that you unlocked will be, or who for? Like, I mean, it just said new dialogue unlocked, but do you know that is for Frank, or is there? You just have to like keep talking to people until you figure out who it was. It's the mystery.
It is a mystery.
Nice.
Where did those stairs go?
Sorry.
It's not that kind of game.
Was that you? Did
Yeah.
you say that?
Do you want him to be a voice actor on your?
was,
Do you have a devil character on
Yeah,
your game?
if you have a reel, I'll give it a listen.
My reel is just me on stage doing random things.
Oh, this makes me so happy watching new footage of this. It makes me so
I
happy.
can't, but it's only again a week away, and you get to play the
It's
first
so-
episode.
I'm
Is it gonna be 5
I'm
episodes?
moving house and I can play it in my new house, like nothing unpacked, just sitting there playing this.
Just enjoying your strange life.
Just crying. Just crying.
Just crying. Yeah. So is it 5? Is it gonna be 5 episodes total?
3 episodes total.
Okay.
So first one, we said it, I'll say it again, releases August 31st, Xbox One, PS4, PC. And then we haven't announced the release for episodes 2 and 3, but they'll be very soon.
Nice.
So this is the band, or is this just a
This
different?
is a band called Firewalk that she desperately wanted to listen to, and that's why she's here.
That's why she snuck in and is sitting on the roof.
Firewalk. Wasn't that in the first game as well? A different band.
Firewalk with Me is a reference to Twin Peaks, which was
Yeah.
a big inspiration for Arcadia Bay.
Definitely has that feel. Just talking to a tape recorder. every once in
I'm
a
sorry,
while.
I'm just being a little quiet because I'm just enjoying this so much. I don't want to talk over too much of this.
You should be more careful. It's a rough place.
Oh snap!
Do you think people should play the first game before they play the prequel? Or can you play it the other way around as well?
So we've written and designed the prequel not to spoil, the first story. So if you wanted to do that, absolutely you can. But if you've played the first game before playing Before the Storm, I think you will have a really deep kind of insight into why the characters are maybe doing the things they're doing.
This chronological order is not really a thing in this game, is it?
That's true. That's the principle of Life is Strange.
And it won't be pretty. It
What
won't.
makes life so strange, guys? What's the answer?
Man, that's a good question. I think it's people,
Yeah. Is
or
it the
or
people?
Is it
it's
though?
stuff,
Yeah.
Stuff and things.
or it's things.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can attack this guy, or you can
Choose
run.
carefully.
Choose carefully.
Who is he? Is that?
This is the guy who
Frank.
you bumped into,
Oh,
and now
Anarchy
he's
guy.
cornering,
Spilled beer on him.
cornering you.
Can we attack him?
You can attack him.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not good.
Wouldn't want to be
Oh.
Yeah,
She got some sass.
yeah.
Rachel?
Oh, hey.
Rachel Amber.
Ooh, I like her hair.
Come on.
Oh my god, this is the first time I ever see Rachel.
This is it.
Hold me.
Why would you stop? Oh, look at Frank coming through in the clutch.
He's a hero.
Classic
That's
Chloe.
nice.
Yeah, I cannot
Wow,
wait.
Cool. I'm so excited. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here today. We're going to take a look at the trailer.